Hi, thank you for joining me. Welcome. Today we're going to look at emptiness. Such a wonderful subject, field of study in meditation. I'm certainly not an expert in this area. In fact, I'm quite inexperienced, and so I'll just try to do my best, but don't take this as gospel. Okay, first, sit up straight, close your eyes, have a big breath in, and a deep sigh. Let's just sit here peacefully in stillness and quiet. Feel yourself, your body being restful, relaxed, soft in your muscles. Your breathing is relaxed, it is very gentle. The breathing is steady. There's a relaxed rhythm to it. The mind is feeling peaceful. And then through the mouth, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Slowly open your eyes. Alright, I'm going to try a lovely little practice called the 3-minute breathing space. I learnt this from Yekshi. It's a practice in 3 parts. Quite simply, 3 1-minute parts will have a different focus in each part. So close your eyes again. Now we're going to do ladder breathing. Breathing through the nose, slowly in towards full, slowly out towards empty, counting up as you breathe in, and then reverse counting as you breathe out. For 1 minute, make sure the breathing is gentle. Try that now. a sigh. And then continuing, now we're going to do a resting breath, a little bit in, a little bit out, but counting each round at the top. So it would be in, 1, release, in, 2, release, and just keep counting higher and higher, just for 1 minute. Then relax, have a sigh again. And then for 1 more minute, we're going to move through the body. I'll guide you. We just want to relax each of these parts. So eyes closed, relax the head and face, the shoulders, one side, the upper arm, lower arm, hand, the other side, upper arm, lower arm, hand, upper back, chest, lower back, abdominals, hips, one side upper leg, lower leg, foot, other side upper leg, lower leg, foot, the whole body. Have a deep breath. Check how your mind's feeling. Are you ready to listen? Is your mind steady, clear, and open, with energy? I hope so. Open your eyes. Okay. So, emptiness. Well, I'm going to do a few sessions on this, and this first session will be pretty basic. I'll just try to give you some ideas of some familiar words and symbols that you'll get to know if you study this more deeply. And I do urge you to study this more deeply yourself. Alright, now I'd like to read to you some parts from some different texts to try and paint a bit of a picture. The first is from I Am That by Nisargadatta Maharaj. If you like, you can close your eyes or keep them open. And this follows on from the non-duality sessions that I've posted recently. I am all, and all is me. Being the world, I am not afraid of the world. Being all, what am I to be afraid of? Water is not afraid of water, nor fire of fire. Also, I am not afraid because I am nothing that can experience fear or can be in danger. I have no shape, no name, It is attachment to a name and shape that breeds fear. I am not attached. I am nothing. And nothing is afraid of no thing. Just sit with that. Just absorb the ideas and perhaps come back to them again. Redo this session again one day, and you'll see that as your mind grows in learning, you will understand these teachings better. Okay, another one. His Holiness, how to see yourself as you really are. Identifying ignorance. To succeed at developing insight, first you need to identify ignorance. Ignorance in this context is not just a lack of knowledge. It is an active misapprehension of the nature of things. It mistakenly assumes that people and things exist in and of themselves by way of their own nature. This is not an easy concept to grasp, but it is very important to identify this faulty perception, for it is the source of destructive emotions such as lust and hatred. In Buddhism, we repeatedly speak of emptiness. But if you do not see how people mistakenly attribute to things their own inherent existence, it is impossible to understand emptiness. You have to recognize, at least in a rough way, what you are falsely superimposing on phenomena before you can understand the emptiness that exists in its stead. Have a sigh. And then one more. This is from the Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. If one is not aware in vision, it is unlikely that one will be aware in life, in behavior, in dream, and in the bardo after death. What does this mean? Vision, in this context, does not mean simply visual phenomena, but rather the totality of experience. It includes every perception, sensation, and mental and emotional event, as well as everything that seems external to us. Vision is what we see as experience. It is our experience. Being unaware in vision means being unable to see the truth of what arises in experience, and instead being deluded by the misunderstandings of the dualistic mind, mistaking the projections and fantasies of that mind for reality. When we lack awareness of the true situation in which we exist, it is difficult to respond skillfully to what we encounter in both external and internal life. Instead, we react according to the habits of grasping and aversion, driven this way and that by unhappiness and illusory hopes. Taking action based on these confusions is what is meant by lack of awareness in behavior in life. The result of such action is the reinforcement of attachment, hatred, and ignorance, and the creation of further negative habits. Sit with that. Feel your body breathing. Get a sense of what appears to be your mind. Your feeling for reality. Your feeling of existence within a perceived reality. And then have a deep sigh. Okay, open your eyes. Let's start with some basic terms. Empty of inherent existence. Imputed by thought. Dependent arising. Merely labeled. True existence. Now I'll go into all of these in depth in the following sessions, but right now I'll try to give a small explanation of each. So, empty of inherent existence. The idea is that nothing exists independently of causes and conditions. Nothing exists inherently of itself alone. Imputed by thought. The idea that the mind conceives of and constructs images, concepts, ideas for all things. Dependent arising. Because nothing exists independently of causes and conditions, all things, therefore, can only arise dependently upon causes and conditions. Dependent arising. Merely labeled. The mind labels everything, and yet all of those things are merely labeled. And lastly, true existence. The mind believes that what it sees and what it labels has true existence. This is a mistake. Close your eyes, relax, have a sigh. Absorbing, relaxing, remaining clear and open, calm and relaxed. Let these ideas be like seeds planted in your mind, and your relaxed, open and peaceful mind is fertile ground. Okay, now let's look at some symbols. Clouds. The metaphor of clouds is used in many different ways. But think about when we look up in the sky, or we look at clouds and all the different shapes. And sometimes we imagine we can see a face in there, or maybe a dog. But we know that it's not true that there's a face there or a dog. But in our lives, when we see things everywhere and label them, we believe those labels are true. TV projector. If you go and see a movie, you recognize that everything has just been projected onto a screen, and none of those characters are actually real, even though they look like they're real. And so we consider whether our own mind, which is projecting a reality, a perceived reality within and around us, we believe that projection. We invest ourselves deeply, emotionally into it, and yet, perhaps, is all just a projection of our mind. Rope and snake. If you're driving along a road and you see up ahead something that looks like it could be a snake, your mind thinks, is that a snake? And you might start being worried, and so you're very careful as you approach it. But then you find out, it's just a rope. This is something we need to consider in the way that we see things, images, symbols and ideas in our lives. We might ask ourselves, are we deluded? Generally, we don't think we are. Mirage, a rainbow. In a desert, you see up ahead a mirage, perhaps of a lake or a city, and yet you never find it. It has no substance. Similarly, a rainbow is always dependent upon the watcher, the perceiver. It too has no substance. We cannot grasp it. Now, this is where science merges with advanced yoga. Think about this let's say we have atoms and molecules, and of course there are things smaller than that. We put them together and they become cells. You put some cells together and you might have some muscles. You put some muscles and bones and skin together and you might have a human being. And the human being may then have a name. It may be considered a person. And yet that person is just a story in our mind. One more. The sound of one hand clapping. This is a Zen koan. What is the sound of one hand clapping? The idea is, consider that your mind superimposes a reality, perceived reality, and it never meets with anything substantial or real. It falls flat. It's like one hand clapping and never meeting the other half, and there is no sound. It just falls through. We give meanings to everything we label and believe those meanings are true, even though everything we see is illusory. These are some of the insights of the notion of emptiness. Close your eyes. Have a deep sigh. Feel yourself sitting still, quiet, and relaxed. Feel the body breathing. Get a sense of how your mind is feeling. And regardless of how you've been feeling, now become peaceful again. Relax your mind. Relax your body. Relax your breathing. Have a deep sigh. Well done. Open your eyes. Okay, that's a start. All these ideas need to be fully examined by each of us if we want to know what's true and what isn't. In the next few sessions, I'll try to explain more and open up more. Thank you very much. Take care.